G'day cheeky dogs, my name's Margie and I'm an Australian currently living in America. And welcome to Happy Heelerdays, with today's question being a lot more in depth. We're going to be focusing on what would the movie plot be for a Bluey movie? What would you like to see in a Bluey movie? Who would you like to see? Basically, what do you want it to be about?
Exciting.
So I'm going to answer that question today, but first, don't forget to leave your answer as well in that comment section down below. I'm really curious as to all the different ideas that we can come up with. So I think any of them could probably be a really great movie. If you're new to my channel as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as that bell for notifications, so you know whenever I release any other Bluey content. We are doing 31 days of Bluey questions here to help just sort of embrace the Christmas spirit and just get to know each other a little bit better over the holiday season, because I feel like it's that time of year. With that being said, let's dive into the Bluey movie ideas. Bluey! So I think the probably best place to start is with what I don't think would be in the first movie of Bluey. And that is Bluey going to America. Now, recently, of course, we did see the big Bluey balloon in Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. And on the Bluey Facebook and Instagram channels, they were posting loads of really cute pictures of Bluey in New York, basically. And it was really cool to see. They're just seeing Bluey outside of Australia and kind of like being a tourist in different places. I thought was a really cool idea. But it did also get a lot of people talking about the fact of, will we ever see Bluey come to America or go to New York in the show? And yeah, I think that could be a really cool idea for a movie, but I don't think it would be the first movie.
Oh no.
It would be something maybe along the lines of like their second movie or like an extra long special, something like that. Just because, again, Bluey is an Australian cartoon, and I feel like there would be a lot of backlash if the movie was about her going to America for the first time. And that's just because Australians, they're just kind of really protective over Bluey and over the idea of Australia, and America isn't the first place that a lot of us would ever go. For most of us, it's the UK, and what a surprise, it would be London. And I think there's two reasons as to why we might see Bluey going on a trip to London and that being a massive movie. And to be honest, a lot of it's kind of to do with Bandit. So the first reason that we might see Bluey going over to the UK with her family could be because of Bandit going on a work trip. We know that he is an archaeologist, as well as he works for the university alongside Honey's dad.
And now please welcome Dr. Bandit Heeler, fresh from the field to discuss his latest archaeological discovery.
Who is British. Honey's whole family is British. We even see a short of them like talking about like how they like to have their tea, a very British thing, but also kind of Australian too.
And make sure you leave the tea to stew for at least 2 minutes.
It's not stew, it's brew, and it should be for 3 minutes.
Perhaps they are all going over there for a work event, so we would see Bluey as well as Honey also involved in this, which I think could be a really cool way of sort of expanding into seeing more of like Honey's family. But we could also maybe meet more of Honey's extended family while they're there, and Bluey and her could be getting into any sort of hijinks around the UK. But that could be maybe the reason why they go over, is a Bandit work trip. Now, the second reason they might go over though, of course, is perhaps just for a actual holiday. A lot of Australians go to the UK and specifically to London for holidays. Yes, the trip is like 24 hours in a plane, but I mean, that would make for some really funny scenes, I think, in Bluey. But maybe they might be going over there to see their extended family on Bandit's side, perhaps. And what extended family could that be? Perhaps it might be Uncle Gerald or Auntie Mary. So I have brought this up before. These are like the two family members that we've never seen, but we've only kind of like heard of in Bluey. I broke it down in my Bluey family tree video. I'll leave a link up here for it. But this could also maybe explain where Grandpa Bob is.
Good night, Grandpa Bob, wherever you are.
So perhaps Gerald or Mary is his brother or sister, and he has been in the UK, specifically in London, taking care of them. So maybe something happened medically, he had to go over to help them out, and so maybe that's why Bandit and Bluey, Chili and Bingo all go over, is to visit their extended family. Maybe they're feeling better, they want to go over and see his dad because he hasn't seen his dad in a while. That could be a really good explanation as to where Grandpa Bob has been, but also a way of seeing more of Bluey's extended family and sort of seeing that British side, I guess. Because in Australia, a lot of us have British heritage. We are a colonized country, not great history, but it is really common for a lot of us to have extended family over in the UK. So that could be another reason.
Cheeky dogs, if you've been enjoying this video so far, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up down below and leave a comment. It really means a lot to me into helping build my channel, and the YouTube gods also seem to like channels that have lots of likes in them as well.
That could also open up the door as well for Muffin and Socks coming over with Uncle Stripe and Trixie. So maybe it's like a whole family holiday over there. Again, I would love to see like Muffin just running rampant throughout London. I think that could make for some really funny scenes. Now, if they were all over in London, like what kind of scenes would we see? I think obviously we would see Bluey seeing all like the major touristy spots such as Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, the London Bridge, but I do think maybe specifically with Buckingham Palace, initially I would have thought that there's some way that maybe Bluey gets into some sort of hijinks, her and Bingo together, and they somehow randomly meet the Queen.
Blow out your candles, Your Majesty. Very well.
Which of course we know the girls absolutely love the Queen. They love being queens. They love pretending to have tea with the queens. So I think this would be such a really cool thing. Of course though, we do need to bring up the fact that in real life, the Queen has passed away and we now have a king instead. Now I do wonder if Bluey would replicate this and perhaps make a mention maybe on the flight over if the girls are like, we're so excited to see the Queen, and Chili might be like, oh girls, you know, she's passed away now that her son is the king. Maybe they might do that. I think they might, personally, just because they do replicate a lot of the real world. Like we can see it in the money. On the $5 note in Bluey, it's quite obviously Queen Elizabeth or like the Corgi Queen in Bluey. And we've also seen Prince Charles, but now King Charles, in the episode Grouchy Granny, where we can see him and Diana on the plate. So we know that Charles does exist in the Blueyverse, so perhaps again, they might get in some sort of hijinks where they actually get to meet the king now instead.
Yes, jolly good.
But I do think that that would be like a major plot point of the movie. Basically is the girls just running around London. Maybe they get lost, they're trying to find their way back, and so they have to go on like the big red double-decker buses to get around, or they're going to different spots. So I feel like that would be a big part of it. It's just sort of showcasing London and the UK and Australians living there. And of course, yes, we would love to see the spot where Bandit and Chili met, allegedly, according to Chili, but not Bandit.
Why did you meet Dad?
Well, there's some dispute, but let's just say at a party in London.
I personally think that it was probably at the church. The church was like this big kind of like nightclub bar sort of scene that existed sort of a couple of years ago. It's shut down now, unfortunately, but I do feel like that was maybe the place they met because a lot of Australians used to go there all the time. So I think that would be really cool for us to actually see where they met maybe, and just get a few flashback scenes as well of them like when they were traveling through the UK. That would be awesome. But what do you cheeky dogs think? Let me know in that comment section down below. What do you think they would do for a Bluey movie? Also, I have sponsored myself for this video. I am a children's book author. I wrote the book My Santa, Your Santa. It is available on Amazon worldwide. It is all about the magic of Christmas and why Santa looks different in different countries, and all those sort of like just little fun things about why Santa is different for different families and countries like that. There are of course Easter eggs in the book as well, and an Australian Santa too. So if you're interested in checking that out, don't forget to hit the link in the description box or in the pinned comments down below. As well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell for notifications while you're down there as well, and also that like button. Big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. But until we get to our next question, I have picked you cheeky dogs out a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I will see you all in another video. Mwah! Bye! Did you spot the long dog?